Welcome to Deep Thought. Money engines in the hood, right? You know what? I was checking out this show on the Stars Network, right? It's called Warriors of Liberty City. And it's about this sports program that's in the Liberty City section of Miami. And it's a real poor area, real rough area. And one of the things that inspired the producers to do something on it is that this relatively small area has a high number of pro football players that came from there, right? And I think I just watched one show. I wasn't really interested in going further, but that story can be repeated in a lot of areas, because there was another show I watched called Friday Night Tykes, Steel Country, and it was about someplace in near Pittsburgh that also produced some football players, right? And I was thinking about the hood, right? And really, this extends to any poor area, any place on the globe, right? It's not just in the black community. It could be in a trailer park. It could be in a favela in Brazil or wherever. In fact, speaking of Brazil, I was watching a video about this area in Brazil that people look to for models. It's a poor area, rural area, right? I find it interesting, especially in light of the podcast I did yesterday, the video I did yesterday, right? I find it interesting. Well, it shouldn't be interesting, but it's really an interesting phenomenon. Like, we have people who are poor, right? But you get that one talented person. It could be in athletics. You get it a lot there. It could be in beauty, with the Brazilian models. And even on other levels. I mean, think about how many people come from poor environments who are exploited for money. If you look at the sex industry, a whole lot of prostitutes, sex workers, and the such come from those type of environments. And what do? Because they look physically attractive, or they have a sexual body, a very sensual body, what happens? Somebody puts them to work. And I know some people might say, yeah, these pimps. It's like, well, you know what? Some of these gentlemen clubs out here are doing the same thing. They not run by pimps or brothels or whatever, right? Or if you look at just sports, the sports industry, people saying all this and that about some of these black athletes protesting for social justice and everything. But these these same black boys that they're protesting for primarily are the same ones the NFL will need to stay in business in the future. If I guarantee, and you heard it here first. If some major, like some real superstar young man gets gunned down, I can guarantee the NFL will be like, oh wait, this is our future. I mean, they're already concerned about it now, because a lot of people are taking their kids out of football because of the concussions and everything. Like my own son, as much as I love football, I wouldn't let him play it. He's actually pretty good at catching the ball too. But, this is more important about his health and everything, right? But these are money engines. These people are being exploited. I mean, you give them a little bit of money, because of their talent or something, and you give them a few million, it's like, boom. But who's making the money off of it? Because understand, if an NFL owner or NBA owner or even a baseball owner, you get a lot of players from the Dominican Republic. They can afford to give these players several $1 million because they're making several billion. But these are money engines. These are money engines. You don't have that many, you don't have that many like of these guys or superstars or something that's coming like from a solid middle class background. I mean, it happens, but a lot of them coming from poor areas. And even before they get to the pros or they get to be a superstar singing something, even before they get to that level, right? Even before they get to that level, they still have to deal with, college and everything. Like that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Like these colleges, it's funny, right? These colleges are making all this money off these poor kids, right? But otherwise probably wouldn't want them on the campus, right? Probably wouldn't even want them on the campus. And it's I don't know. It's some people have pointed out the kind of exploitation with it, and then that's a issue whether it is exploitation, because of course you get a lot of guys, a lot of men and women. That's the only way they would have got out. So what do you say? Oh yeah, you being exploited by it. It was like, well, it was this or Walmart. It was this or Walmart. But it's an interesting dynamic. In fact, I would say, and I read a book, somebody said this, right? Somebody actually said this, right? I read a book, somebody actually, hold on for a second, shoot. I read in this book, one of those obscure books. It was a hip hop type of scholar, but he said, because, and he said this because hip hop was actually created in the hood. He said you actually have people who are like vampires, right? Who look to these places for innovation. And in fact, I remember years ago, a woman had said that, often for fashion and stuff like that, art, you have corporations, they'll look to like the inner cities and everything, right? And that's an incredible thing when you think about it, right? It's like these people, because what happened is, it's almost like you creating a diamond, right? You creating a diamond. And you creating somebody who will have that drive to take it a step further. In fact, I remember a soccer coach, a U.S. soccer coach, back in the days, like the United States still is not considered like great at soccer, right?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Yeah, there's something going on in the background. The U.S. is still not considered great at soccer, right? And this coach has said, the U.S. won't be great at soccer until they can get inner city kids interested, right? Because there is a certain amount of drive. It's not even, it's not even so much as superior athletic ability or anything, but it's a drive. If you some kid and you focus on, you in a poor neighborhood, and if you're a male and you focused on like, getting out of there and stuff, and somebody say, hey, you pretty talented, what you going to do? You're going to focus on it. And sometimes, and quiet as it's kept, sometimes you get like that real smart kid, they focus on getting out. And how many of these smart kids too, they get up there and work for some corporation, right? Get up there and make a whole lot of money for somebody. And, with the women, it could be a smart thing, but it's usually like, well, you know what, they're a little bit prettier than all other girls and stuff. Hey, girl, you can come over here and, you can make some money. Just be friendly with this guy here. It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. And it's something to think about. It really is. When I see shows like that, or I see like videos with them looking for models in poor areas and everything, it's another type of, it really is in a way a type of exploitation, even though the people would get something from it. So as always, it's something to think about. Just want to throw that out there. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.